Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. And the topic of the day, while it was a wild Saturday across the sport, I want to start where you'd expect your boy Torres to start here on a Sunday night after an awesome week 4. That is Norman, Oklahoma, Tennessee facing Oklahoma in a game that we all know the stakes, right? Josh Heupel's return, Oklahoma's first SEC game. So much. What would possibly happen when these two teams took the field? Well, bluntly, what happened is exactly what we told you would happen in our preview show last Wednesday. I told you I'd like Tennessee to win and cover, but the best bet to me was the under because I felt like Tennessee was going to show that they are not just a great offense, but a complete team. And that's exactly what happened as they win 25-15. So let's go ahead and break this down. Let's start from the Tennessee perspective. And listen, I'm not sitting here trying to take all sorts of victory laps. Okay? I get all sorts of stuff wrong. I'm the dummy that picked USC to win at Michigan. Okay, I get stuff wrong all the time. But what I told you coming into this game, and I've said it since the NC State game, I said if you believe that Tennessee is just this team that wants to throw the ball 50 times a game and beat you 47, that 49, 41, 49, 42, you're a casual. That was 2 or 3 years ago. Hendon Hooker, they didn't have the O-line. They didn't have the defense. And I have said from the beginning, this is a complete team. Well, what happened Saturday? Jump out to a field goal lead. It's 3-3. Nico hits that pass over the middle to Dante Thornton. They take that 10-3 lead. And then all of a sudden, you watch that game, there was never a moment the rest of the game that you felt like Oklahoma was in it. Now, part of it was some Oklahoma quarterback issues, which we'll get to, but so much of it was this Tennessee defense. And you look at this Tennessee defense, they are phenomenal. The crazy part is we talked about it going into the game. They've basically been playing base defense the first 3 games, and they have still completely dominated the opposition. But it doesn't change the fact that this team is special and that on the biggest stage that they have had all year, they showed again that they are a complete team. Nico, 13 of 21 passing, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. We're going to get back to Nico in a minute. They ran the ball effectively, which we talked about. They do it as well as anybody in the SEC, 150 yards rushing. To Oklahoma's credit, their defense actually played pretty well, all things considered. But the story of this game was the defense. We talked on Friday's show, Josh Heupel, remember, he had that great quote after the NC State game where he said, look, I like putting up points as much as anybody, but at the end of the day, we are Tennessee football. We're the home of Eric Berry. We're the home of Reggie White. We're the home of Al Wilson. We take pride in our defense here, and they showed it on Saturday. Oklahoma didn't find the red zone, didn't find the end zone, until there was 8 minutes left on the clock. They didn't break 200 yards until well into the fourth quarter. A dominant win, a complete win for Tennessee. And when I look at Tennessee in the bigger picture, there are 2 things that stand out to me that we absolutely need to talk about, okay? The first one, and this is going to sound crazy, and Tennessee fans, I want you to hear me out before you start yelling and screaming and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. But I feel like, as crazy as it sounds, that this Tennessee team has another level to get to as a team this specific season. Now, that's not an insult, but have you noticed Josh Heupel knows how good his defense is, knows how good his run game is, and I don't even believe that he has really let Nico loose yet this year. Nico on Saturday night, as I said, 13 of 21 passing, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. It was an awesome performance, but it wasn't Nico's best, and that's not a criticism of Nico. That is a head coach realizing I can run the ball right down this team's throat. I trust my defense. I don't have to let this kid loose yet. And as a matter of fact, that's not just my opinion that he hasn't really let Nico loose yet. It's the facts. Like, I looked this up, and this stat kind of blew me away. Through 4 games, Nico has only attempted 88 total passes, okay? Now that might sound like a lot to you, but let's do some simple mental math. Through 4 games, that is a total of about 22 passes per game. This is not the offense that everybody thinks it is. They don't have to throw the ball 50 times a game. And at some point they might. And at some point, I think this offense again has another level to go to. He's only throwing the ball 22 times per game. Oh, by the way, and this is important, I looked it up. He's 80th right now in pass attempts in college football. They are nowhere near fully unleashing this kid, nor should they be. He's 5 games into his career as a starter, and there's another level to get to with this kid. Beyond that, I'll be honest. I look at that schedule that Tennessee has. I think there are a lot of wins left on this schedule. And in my opinion, they are absolutely in the short conversation of national championship contenders in college football this year. Okay. And I was thinking about this, is that you look at Tennessee right now, and let me ask a simple question. Look at everybody else in college football. Okay. Texas to me, and this is not a criticism of Tennessee, but Texas to me has been the best team that I have seen in college football this year, okay? Doesn't mean Tennessee's not good, doesn't mean this team's not good, doesn't mean that team's not good. But at the same time, Texas, first of all, is not invincible. We'll see what happens with Quinn Ewers. But at the same time, after Texas, like, who are we certain about in college football outside of Tennessee? Like, if Texas is in that upper tier, who else is there with them? Georgia was the preseason number 1 team. They were my preseason national championship pick. So this is not me criticizing Georgia. But here's the question. Like, have we seen anything from Georgia that makes you feel like they are an invincible team? Not yet. They go to Tuscaloosa this weekend. We'll talk about that game throughout the week. But no, there is nothing that I have seen that makes Georgia look invincible to me. Ohio State, haven't played anybody. Sorry, don't know how to react to a great win against Marshall. Think Ohio State is good. Love what Chip Kelly's doing early, but they don't look invincible. They don't look unbeatable. Marshall drove the length of the field in the first drive of the game. Who else? Bama, we're going to find out about. I like Miami, but do we really trust Mario Cristobal to win 3-4 straight games on neutral fields, out of conference, etc., equal talent? I don't know. And so I just bring it up because this Tennessee thing, man, listen, I don't know how many teams are in that upper tier, but there have to be, there aren't any outside of Texas that you feel any better about than Tennessee. Producer Matt, do we have the Tennessee schedule really quick? If we don't, it's cool, but if you have it up, pop it. Look at this schedule. Producer Matt laid it out perfectly. They're 4-0. They have a bye. They go to Arkansas. That game's not going to be easy. Arkansas is tough. Arkansas is physical, whatever. You get Florida at home. Listen, this team, first of all, I think we can just look at this schedule, and you don't want to put the cart before the horse. But 10-2, listen, this is a new era of college football, okay? 10-2, with this schedule will get you into the playoff. I don't care if NC State stinks. You challenge yourself out of conference. You won at Oklahoma. Now you got to go to Georgia late in the year, but you get Bama at home. And so I'm looking at this team. This team, listen, I don't want to say anything that's going to jinx anything because there is still a lot of football left to be played. But if they just play to their capabilities, they're in that college football playoff, and they are a team that is capable of winning that thing. And I think right now a worst case scenario is 10-2. Again, you get Alabama at home. That is a terrifying place to play. Just ask all the Alabama players that came there 2 years ago. So I look at Tennessee, great win. But as I said, I just think they are just now scratching the surface of their potential. Phenomenal victory. And I think if you're Tennessee, the best is yet to come. And whatever that short list of true national championship contenders are, that short list of teams that are good enough to win 3 or 4 neutral site and potentially home or road playoff games, Tennessee is on that list.